I think most people are not very ideological, and Trump, while I find him loathsome, touches a legitimate nerve. Vance went on to say this. But I'm not surprised by Trump's rise, and I think the entire party has only itself to blame. We are, whether we like it or not, the party of lower income, lower education white people, and I've been saying for a long time that we need to offer those people something, and hell, maybe even expand our appeal to working class black people in the process, or a demagogue would. We are now at that point. Trump is the fruit of the party's collective neglect.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
J.D. Vance, was an individual back in 2016 who was suggesting that Donald Trump was a narcissist and somebody who was a threat to the country.
We know that masks work. They are the easiest, most cost-effective way to limit the spread of COVID-19. Each business will be required to post a face covering requirement sign at all public entrances to the store. All customers must wear masks. We are issuing a curfew. And the curfew will start Thursday at 10 p.m. The Ohio Children's Hospital Association recommends all children wear face coverings, masks when returning to school. That is going to be the policy. We are going to make that an order from the health department.
They're trying to step on our health rights. No mandatory vaccine, no mandatory vaccine passport. Nobody should be telling you to put a mask on, to get a jab, ever. You decide.
And all the components used to make it are found inside a Rayland home.
Police found an unspecified amount of meth, along with numerous one-pot meth labs and other components for manufacturing.
The meth problem has been on the rise in the south end of the county, a community scorned and circumstanced, situated amidst 3 of the top opioid-impacted states.
In the other house that we searched in Rayland, there were a total of about 6 people, all from the Columbus area. Seemed to have no significant tie to this area whatsoever.
of the 2020 election.
The race ended on January 6th. I was hoping there to be some evidence. There wasn't.
This is an embarrassment to our country. This is a major fraud in our nation.
I tell you what, the people here today are the dedicated people. Like I was telling our candidate for county commissioner. Like I say, we don't have a lot here, but the people we have here are good people. Good people. God bless every one of you, and thank you for coming.
They're attacking Americans' freedoms. Democrats in government have told Americans you couldn't go to church, you couldn't go to work, you couldn't go to school.
Well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom. This is not about freedom or personal choice.
Our natural, unalienable rights are now considered to be a dispensation of government. And freedom has never been so fragile, so close to slipping from our grasp as it is at this moment. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
If you want freedom, take pride in your country. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots.
But as I said before, the truth is a force of nature. It's going to come out. It's all coming out. Hang in there.
Cars and trucks displayed American flags and political mottos as people met to discuss health mandates and in what direction they would like to see the U.S. go. Participants at the meeting in Raylan say they're thankful there are still people who care about our country.
You know, it's a good thing with how the world's going right now. It's good to see all these people out here celebrating, having a good time with how bad the world's going down right now. People are in hard times, and they're able to get out and do something like this and get their mind off things and whatnot.
I'm just having a good run for our country. It shows pride. I love my country, and I'll support it till the day I die.
Many participants waved their flags and held signs toward the highway, and some drivers honked to show their support as they passed through.
DHS is rescinding the deportation of an illegal immigrant who killed 19-year-old Adrian Sophia Exum.
Gas prices hitting a new record high overnight
as protests turn violent across America.
The number of migrants apprehended trying to illegally cross our borders is higher than it's ever been before.
Cost of that Thanksgiving feast this year could be the highest in the holidays history.
Across America, store shelves selling infant formula are going bare, and parents are panicking.
Empty shelves from the cereal aisle to deodorant and paper goods, everyday items in increasingly short supply.
I think our policies help, not hurt.
The Biden White House cracking down on freedom of speech just days after Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. Coincidence? DHS Secretary Mayorkas announcing plans for what he calls a disinformation governance board to combat misinformation ahead of the midterms.
You don't want to be somewhere where the spotlight is hit. You want to try to keep it as down low as possible. A lot of this is just
I get it. I just, like I said,
stuff that we don't tell people because what we don't want to do is attract attention. We don't want the media.
Yeah.
Like we don't even know where we're going when they tell us. I get the whole secrecy and all this, but this is even about my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
And why? You know why?
You know why?
Yeah, I know, but why? Yeah.
That's why.
No, but what's the big secret? Everybody knows it's happening.
You know why? Because if it gets out, the government's betraying the American people.
Unvaxxed, unvetted people. He's flying them to New York, where now they can vote.
In local elections, they can go to college on my dime, right? They can work cash, drive down wages, and then they can hold up a liquor store with a gun, and then they'll only be charged with a misdemeanor, and then they can't be deported because it's a sanctuary situation. That's where we are right now. And the media will not report that. If you had said this is happening 10 years ago, no one would have ever believed it, but that's where we are. This is a Democrat human smuggling operation. I don't see any other way to look at it. Is there an alliance between Joe Biden and the cartels? Well, they asked the same question about Trump and Russia, and there was no evidence. Well, now there's a lot of evidence that they're working together
This is foreign
to smuggle
interference.
people into the country. For what? Why? Why would they do that?
If it's for voting, then it's foreign interference in our elections.
In our elections,
In our
Greg, this is an
elections.
attack on democracy.
But here is the question. What is Joe Biden trying to accomplish? Why is he doing this at night? Why is he doing this to us? Why is he allowing people with criminal records and then saying, well, I've analyzed these records and it's only assault, drunk driving, drug offenses. So I want these people vetted. I want to know who's a pedophile, who's a drug dealer, who drives drunk, who beats his wife, who thinks it's okay to have sex with his kid. I want to know who these people are. But you know what? The Democrats don't believe in law and order. So here is a perfect example of what they're doing to destroy this country.
The man I most admire in the world, that God to me, thinks I'm a God. And my brother did too. And the three of us, it was literally, I had the support to know I can do anything. Talk about anything that I wanted to, that he believes in. If I say this is important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform. My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world, and I know that to be certain.
Sending that garbage out, yeah, but it's not true.
So this is a garbage report.
Yeah.
The president is perfectly comfortable with the Department of Justice settling with the individuals and families who are currently in litigation with the U.S. government.
Major networks skipped the coverage again.
Here to react, Fox News contributor Joe Concha, and of course the media's coverage of this, ABC, CBS, NBC, all 0 minutes, Joe.
Wow, to quote Dean Wormer, 0.0 minutes on this huge story. Absolutely. You're going to pay $450,000 to migrant families that were separated, but if you're a Gold Star family, you don't receive even remotely as much of that. If you were born here legally, Wall Street Journal bombshell from last week, garbage says you shouldn't put that sort of garbage out there, and now here you have the White House saying, no, actually, it's true. Is this true? It appears to be, this $450,000 payment. And how do you justify this to the American people? I have no idea. And that's why Virginia went the way it did a couple of nights ago. And they will run the Democratic Party into the ground when you think about this spending bill that they want to pass. And as a result, 2022, Todd, to answer your question, will be a red tsunami, House, Senate, and go back to the Republican Party.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
Have to focus on now as Democrats is we recognize the process was rigged.
It's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too.
A patently false narrative about the election being stolen that is being still perpetuated.
When it comes to the election, Republicans, congressional Republicans, don't have the evidence. They don't have the proof. They don't have anything. Neither does the president.
President Trump was perpetrating a big lie when he repeatedly claimed that the election was stolen from him and that he actually won the election.
This is something I worry about. My view is every vote must be counted. For reasons which I don't have the time to get into tonight, you're going to have a situation, I suspect, in states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, other states, where they are going to be receiving huge amounts of mail-in ballots. And unlike states like Florida or Vermont, they're not being able, for bad reasons, to begin processing those ballots until, I don't know, election day, or maybe when the polls close. That means you're going to have states dealing with perhaps millions of mail-in ballots. Here is my worry. What polls show and what studies have shown is that for whatever reason, Democrats are more likely to use mail-in ballots. Republicans are more likely to walk into polling booths on election day. It is likely that the first votes that will be counted will be those people who came in on election day, which will be Republican. And here is the fear, and I hope everybody hears that. It could well be, I don't know what's going to happen, nobody does, but it could well be that at 10 o'clock on election night, Trump is winning in Michigan, he's winning in Pennsylvania, he's winning in Wisconsin, and he gets on the television, he says, "Thank you, Americans, for re-electing me. It's all over. Have a good day." But then the next day and the day following, all of those mail-in ballots start getting counted, and it turns out that Biden has won those states. At which point Trump says, "See, I told you the whole thing was fraudulent. I told you those mail-in ballots were crooked."
If you managed to sleep last night, things changed. You may have gone to bed thinking this election was headed one way, and then you woke up and you saw things were different and maybe trending increasingly in another direction.
Trump supporters went to bed probably pretty happy. Big Biden supporters, not super happy. So let's kind of track through this. I want to walk through how things have changed. This is at 1 a.m. in the morning. Look at Nevada. Look at Wisconsin. Look at Michigan. Look at Pennsylvania. No, just keep Pennsylvania where it is. Flip to 2. All of a sudden Nevada flips. All of a sudden Wisconsin starts to flip. Sorry, this is 5 a.m. This is 5 a.m. One more. Michigan as well. So I'll take all these off, and I want to watch it again, because just the progression throughout the night, as we were live on television talking about this as it happened, as things looked very, very good for the Trump campaign, particularly in the Midwest, Pennsylvania into the Midwest, Nevada as well. So we're waiting for vote to come in. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 9:05 a.m., and you just watched it. And we talked about the progression over the last several hours, the progression in Wisconsin, the progression in Michigan.
Today I want it to be mutual aid. Aim that into your brains. No shut down! No peace! No shut down! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! We don't get it! Burn it down! And we don't get it! Burn it down! You're racist now. You ain't more racist. You don't act like you do. America is. This is Columbus where you're from. This is Columbus. She's fine.